We see in creation there is what's called the sun and the moon. The sun is what radiates and shines light, energy, and the moon at night shines also, but not from its own light, rather from the light that it receives from the moon, the sun. The sun is standing on one side of the planet Earth, the moon on the other side, and the moon is reflecting light that it receives from the sun. The reason why the moon waxes, so that sometimes it's a full moon, half moon, there's a crescent, is because the interference of the globe of the earth, Kadur Haaretz, intercepting between the connection between the sun and the moon, and that's what causes the light to be diminished or increased on the moon. But in short, all light from the moon is coming from the sun. Rebbe Nachman teaches so too when learning Torah, specifically learning the Torah teachings of the Tzaddikim. Their teachings of the Tzaddikim are so bright, so shining. It's not that it's something wrong. It's shining at an intensity, full force. And that's how it has to be, because in order for the teachings of the Tzaddikim to penetrate this world, it has to be given at full force. However, on the side of the recipients, the students, it's not so easy to receive such a high dosage of light. What's needed is a type of a filter, like a moon, which reflects this light at manageable proportions. Rebbe Nachman teaches that this moon reflecting the light of the sun, in other words, the ones who are able to properly constrict and then give over in proper morsels the light of the teachings of the Tzaddikim, are their disciples, the students. The students are those who are at such a high level, advanced level, that they don't get blinded by the light of the teachings of the Tzaddikim because of their level, and yet they're able afterwards to dispense and give over further to other people who are not yet at the category of Talmidim, students, to give these teachings in manageable proportions. This is in line with the teaching of the rabbis in the Gemara: Pnei Moshe kepnei Chama, Pnei Yeshua kepnei Levana. The face of Moshe shone like the light of the sun, and the face of Joshua, the disciple, shone like the light of the moon. Meaning that Yeshua was able, after Moshe Rabbeinu's passing, to give over the teachings of Moshe Rabbeinu in a way that there would be a continuity and it wouldn't be blinding. He gave the vessels that to be able to make the Jews help enter the Holy Land, to conquer the Holy Land, to enter, to live the Holy Land, everything from Torah to Moshe, everything from the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu. But he gave it in manageable proportions. In Breslov lore, this also applies to learning Rebbe Nachman's teachings. Rebbe Nachman's main disciple continues to be Reb Noson. Reb Noson's teachings, whether it's his discourses on the Likutei Moran called Likutei Alachot, whether it's his amazing prayers in the Likutei Tfilot, whether it's his beautiful letters in the book Alim L'Trufa, whether it's his abridged Likutei Moran version, his book advice Likutei Etzot, anything that Reb Noson wrote serve as a filter to properly understand, to properly radiate, enter, and to become enlightened with the teachings of Rebbe Nachman. So because of that, as opposed to just hitting head on Rebbe Nachman's teachings, it's worthwhile perceiving them, learning them together, hand in hand with Reb Noson's teachings, as this will give you the filter of the moon, so to speak, to properly perceive and internalize the teachings of Rebbe Nachman. And there should not be what's called ribui or too much light, where the person, because of the intensity, blows up, crashes, and then in the end loses out in the end. With Reb Noson's teachings, you have a better chance of properly absorbing Rebbe Nachman's teachings in a practical way that will stay with you and not be just a temporary spiritual high experience, rather something that will go with you for the rest of your life.